the second Saturday game on the board, my man. We are jumping on over here to the Washington Commanders taking on the Detroit Lions. And let me just say really quickly, this line low-key shocks me. I know that Detroit's coming off the bye week and all these other things, but we're talking about a Washington team that, I'm going to be honest with you, the one game that I was just wrong over the weekend was that game. Now, it was a very close game, but I was on Tampa in that game. They go on the road. They get it done in a relatively hostile environment. I got to give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers some credit, dog, because they showed up for their team last week, and I appreciate seeing that. But with all that said, 9.5 points in this game is that dog number. I don't know if y'all been watching the Detroit Lions, but I don't see defense anywhere, dog. They don't have a defense, so they can come off a bye week and they can be rested and they get David Montgomery back, and I get all the narratives. They all make sense to me. They just stomped on the Minnesota Vikings, but how'd they do last week? So I got to be honest with you, Jalen. I get Detroit to win this thing, man, but 9.5 points. Is it too many here, or is it going to go how the odds makers think it's going to go?
Well, last week I was talking about this Commanders team, and I was like, you know what, man? If y'all if Jaden
you nailed it.
I did. I said if Jaden Daniels can get going downfield and his guys, if guys that are not Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz get involved, repeatedly over and over, Zacchaeus, Brown, if those guys get catches, Eckler, and they're tearing it up and getting down the field, this team is very, very hard to stop. And that is when you don't consider the run game. The run game last week, we had a little bit of a debate about it with Tampa Bay's run defense. It was a good run defense. They didn't run the ball extremely well, but with what they didn't do in the run game, they overcompensated with in the pass game. And I just think, against a team that, like you said, is rested, they looked great against Minnesota. The defense is just so hit or miss, and a lot of the time it's more miss than hit. I think that Jaden Daniels has the capability to go out there and spread the ball around again. The Lions play some of the most man defense in the whole NFL, and that's going to give this dude a chance to run the ball. Unless you're spying him, that's where you can maybe get a couple of, maybe line of scrimmage or short scampers out of bounds. But this dude is still an athlete. So even if you got your middle linebacker spying him, if he mixes that one dude and you got the rest of the receivers, 15, 20, 30 yards downfield, he's going to make something happen. And you also have to respect the usage of Zach Ertz. And if you're going to spy him and you're going to have, your linebackers spying and you're going to have a safety manned up on Ertz, then it's just becoming a game of chance at the end of the day. 9.5 points is to me, it seems like it's right on the nose. I could see Detroit winning it by 10. But I also think that Washington's coming in here with just balls, just nuts hanging. You know what I'm saying? They're feeling so good about that.
Lose.
Yeah.
They got nothing to lose. Look at them. Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels. Like they are a washed up Austin Eckler, as some people wanted to put that on his name when he came in as an RB2. And I was like, y'all crazy, bro. Y'all went nuts if you think Austin Eckler fell off. So I'm right there with you, dog. Once again, it's house money. No one expects you to win.
Exactly. So, yeah. I think they can go in there and cover that, man. I think it's going to be real damn close. It might even be Detroit up by a touchdown in field goal range late to where maybe they could get to that 10, but instead they need the ball out and get out of there with a 7-8 point win. But at the end of the day, I see Detroit winning this one. But like I said, like you were saying, house money coming in there off a hell of a win, hell of a season for Washington. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? Why not? Let's go do it.
But you don't sound like you're sprinkling that Washington money line. You kind of sound like the Lions are winning this game. You just don't know exactly by how much is kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Here's the one thing I'm going to say about Detroit. and this is kind of going to be why I rock with Detroit for a hot minute. I don't know if there's a better coaching staff, top to bottom, in the NFL. Just look at the head coach and the two coordinators. I'm sorry, but they're both gone after this season. They are absolutely stacked. They run incredible plays. They're very smart. You talk about the man coverage, and that would be my one concern in this game is, once again, we've talked about the struggles with the defense. I actually really don't think it's the coaching, to be honest with you. I think they just have a couple, what's the nice word? Frauds is not the right word. They have a couple dudes out there that,
They got a couple bad apples.
Bad apples. That's a nice way to say it. There you go. Couple bad apples here, and it's enough that it kind of throws everything else off. But with all that said, their schemes are right. Their coaching is right. Their pressure on the quarterback at the right times is right. Like, I like what they're doing. Obviously, they lose Aiden Hutchinson, so that has just completely look at the Steelers without TJ Watt, bro. Like, that's going to hurt the defense overall when you lose a top pass rusher. It always does. But with all that said here, look, dog, I got to be honest with you. I can't believe the line. I'm taking 9.5 all day long, twice on Tuesday. It does not matter right now. You can find them in the first half at +6. I struggle with that. I know that they're coming off a bye and they got Montgomery back and all. And once again, they could be up 21-3 at halftime, and I'm not going to be surprised by it. But I also feel like it's just too many points here against a Washington team that's been hot all year. They've only had a couple little woes as the year's gone on. Even when they lost to Pittsburgh, it was Pittsburgh's best offensive game of the year. They still put up 30 points on that defense. Like, even when they don't play great, they are in games, dog. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, Detroit's going to stomp these guys. I can't get there. Even if I want to get there, I can't get there. So I'm going to take Washington to cover in this game in the first half and in the full game. And then I'm also going to go ahead, and there's this little tiny part of me that I feel like I do want to maybe sprinkle on that Washington money line, kind of like we did with the Houston Texans here, just because the odds are good enough. And once again, I will not be shocked if one of the big dogs goes down. I don't think they will. I think one of them is probably going to win via routing, and the other one's going to win on a game-winning field goal is probably how it's going to go. But a game-winning field goal is enough for me to try a +400 money line, bro. Like, you ain't got to ask me twice. So with all that said, guys, Washington to cover is the move in this one. Your score projection, however, 55.5 is the total in this game. And at this moment, shockingly, 39% of the money is on the over, which is very rare. The public tends to love the over. So 55.5, are you with the majority on the under?
I think I am. I can see this game being a lot. I mean, last week only, 43 points scored in the Washington Bucks game. The only thing, I mean, Detroit could go and score 50 of their own points. Realistically, like, that's not. I feel like that's not a crazy take.
Yeah, and it's indoors.
It's indoors. I mean, it's not going to be freezing ass cold, even though they are in Detroit. I mean, good on them for making an indoor stadium, dog. I mean, I would hate to be playing in Detroit outside. I don't know how Green Bay does it.
Don't talk to me about Green Bay and Kansas City and Buffalo building a brand new $2 billion stadium outdoor. Hey, look, bro, but it's football weather. Jalen, I always say this, total side topic. I hate to cut you off, but as an ex-football player, which we both have, and we've both done it in very cold places, and I can tell you right now, y'all can say whatever you want, all you lame-ass fans sitting home on your warm-ass couch with your Snuggie on eating B-dubs. Let me tell you right now, dog, when you're out there, you're like, respectfully, excuse my language, fuck this, bro. No one likes it. They go out there with their shirts off. If you think those guys are having a good time, bro, they're just trying to lie to themselves, dog. Everybody in the world would rather play in SoFi Stadium, Lions Stadium, Cardinal Stadium, Raiders Stadium, every time. If you could play every game like that, the kicking units appreciate it. The quarterbacks appreciate it. The defense, like, nobody wants to play when they need 5,000 people from the town to come out and shovel the stadium.
Yeah,
like,
hell no.
Remember last year the Dolphins Chiefs game was like -30. I'm not even trying to be funny, but like people died out there, bro.
Yes.
Died.
Real life.
Died. Trying to enjoy a football game. And people go, "Oh, it's football weather." Yeah. I hate it. Anyway, I seem to be in the minority when I say all these things on like live. People are like, "Oh, you're just soft." I'm like, "No, bro, I actually played, dog." And I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying I won't play. I played in Minnesota, dog. All right. Don't play with me, bro. I can play in the cold. However, no one prefers it. So anyway, I'm right there. At the end of the day, the point is, guys, there's no excuses offensively, defensively, special team. This is best team versus best team. Conditions don't matter. And that's why I like it.
Right, exactly. And I mean, when you play in those cold games, the run game is what you're going to see really start to hit in the second half, because in the third, late in the third, early in the fourth, you can't feel your fucking feet anymore, man. You're just like, holy shit. Like, I don't know if I got frostbite. I don't know, I can't move my toes. And it's different for these guys. They got the industrial size heaters, which I'm sure help out a lot. We didn't have stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, in high school or even some, in college. And Detroit's going to be able to have, this nice indoor stadium. I can see them, like I said, scoring 40 of their own points. I can see Washington going out there and putting up at least 20 of their own. But like I said, I believe that they cover this one. I'm going to go final score projection, 31-23. We stay on the under. Barely.
Wow.
Barely.
31-23. All right. I'm going to go over barely. I'm going to go 31-27. Detroit Lions, as sickening as it is. I just want to see Detroit win because someone's got to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills or the Ravens because, sorry, but fuck them all. So with that said, I love Washington. I don't think they're the team to do it, and I really do want to see the Lions taking on the Eagles. I think it's just a phenomenal matchup. So with that said, I'm on the Lions here. But once again, guys, I'm on the Washington Commanders to cover, and I'm sprinkling that money line. So good luck to you guys. Commanders, Lions, the final game there, 6:00 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturday in Detroit. Good luck to all you guys in that one.